Hey there folks, and welcome back to Space Engineers. They have added guns and missiles. Only for the small ships though. And as you can see, well, let me pop out of this for you. Well, outside view anyhow. You can see that I've added some Gatling guns and some missile launchers to my little scout craft. And we're going to show you those right now. Right now I have it on my projectile weapons and my Gatling guns. Yeah! This is probably going to be good for anti-infantry. Right now it doesn't do too terribly much against anything, really. So if I would say shoot these large blocks, it might dent them. But, yeah, only if we're lucky. But one thing it does do is it has recoil, and because my guns are off-center, it actually has a weird recoil where it makes my ship want to tip back. And if I would turn off the inertial dampeners, I would actually go backwards. You can see my speed is actually climbing quite quickly. So I'll want to keep the inertial dampeners on. But the most fun thing they've added, missile launchers. One thing I don't think that the damage model on the missiles are finalized. Right now the damage model is very similar to the large warhead. It can penetrate 5 armor and, well, actually the explosion radius is 5 and anything within that radius is completely obliterated. It doesn't matter if you have, like right here I have a solid block which is 7 by 7, so, and this one is a hollow block that's 7 by 7, and one would think that the hollow block would have more damage done to it, but actually they have the exact same amount of damage done to them if we were to shoot this. So we'll go over here, and as you can see, there's 2 blocks left and the third is quite damaged, so that goes to probably a radius of 5. So now, if we go over here and shoot it, same thing. And yeah, so I'm thinking that they're going to work on that. And also, the damage for these little rockets is quite immense. So I'm guessing they're going to nerf that a little bit, but it's still nice they give us some more explosives to play with. Let me get out of this and just show you the comparison with the warhead. Switch over to our warhead. Put that in the middle. We'll put that in the middle. Where did my gun go? I don't have my gun, so I guess we'll have to run into it. Like a tard. Yeah, as you can see, it does the exact same amount of damage as the rockets. Or the rockets do the same amount of damage as these mines. Come on. Blow up. Why won't you blow up? There we go. So that's that. And for some fun, I'm probably not going to save this load, but what we're going to do is we're going to completely obliterate that ship, and then over there I have a slightly revised ship that is going to be better for combat, hopefully. And we'll test them out. We'll test out their durability. I keep on going on about how my ships have redundant systems and hopefully that helps them. Now we'll actually see how much it actually does help. Either I will be made a fool of, or everything will work perfectly. Oops, might want to select a weapon first. Yep. So as you can see, the explosion radius is pretty huge, and I think they're going to hit that with the Nerf bat, which is perfectly fine. Yeah, let's have some fun blowing up some stuff. Yeah, the armor on this ship is pretty ill-equipped to deal with a situation like this. Oh, I haven't hit the bridge yet. There we go. Now, let's see how well this thing still flies, if at all. Well, the bridge is gone, so we'll have to find a secondary bridge to control this from. I wonder if this one is working. Yep, this one's just, well, it's not fine, but it's still working. You know what? Funny thing is this handles pretty well still. You could barely tell that I blasted the heck out of it. This thing really doesn't look very good. Yeah. Well, let's see what other damage we can do to it. Now, where did my ship go? There you are. Well, looks like I accidentally damaged my ship, so let me put my missile launcher back on. Let's see. There we go. Whoops. Wrong way. There we go. Now the ultimate test of its durability. If I select my weapon, of course. So there we go. Pretty much flew through the entire ship. Well, I could do better than that. Let's get at it from a different angle. Good enough. Now let's see if it flies. Well, we still have power, so there's that. It's hanging on by a thread. Literally. It's just that thing holding the entire ship together. Oh, I stand corrected. This part of the ship is now free floating. We still have our observation and command and control section up here that is working. Well, it moves. We only have one gyroscope. It doesn't move that well, but we still have ample power, and we still have many weapons and other systems still online. So, despite the fact it's a very lightly armored ship, it's going to be incredibly difficult to kill. And that being said, I will show you my upgraded version. If I can find it. Oh, there it is. The upgraded version, I've done quite a bit to give it more security against invasion forces, boarding parties, and that sort of thing. So, as you can see, looks a little bit different. I added these as an extra buffer against missiles from the main engineering section that's probably going to get hit a lot. So there's going to be that, and these little bars here, they act not only as reinforcements, but if a missile comes in, it's more likely to hit one of these bars than it is to go through them and hit the actual thin little hallway there. So that's what those are there for. And I added some more, and they do actually work well. And then the other cool thing that I've done is, in future updates, I'm sure they're going to have us man these, and this is probably where you're going to have to man it from. When I say this, I'm talking about Gatling cannons and other such missile launchers. And what I've done is I've kind of walled off these areas, because now we have ships that have Gatling cannons, the engineers are probably going to be very weak against those, so I gave us a little bit of walls and a little bit of cover so that they can hide here and shoot. Also, there are entrances. There are now more entrances, and this entrance is, if you remember, you probably don't recognize this, but this is in the second section. This is where we were just flying the other ship from, but I decided to put in a 2-thick wall with some doors. You're probably going to be able to lock these doors as well, so that'll help against people that are boarding your ship. So you'll be able to lock those. And we came down from there, and you can go up this, and this will bring you to the other side of the Gatling fire station, I suppose you could call it. That is, if I ever manage to make it up here without falling. Yep, there we go. And that's where we just were. And over here you can see I have more of these Gatling stations that we can go to. We'll just turn on our jetpack and fly over there. And here you have 2 walkways, and then a little ramp, and then you can get in your station. Also, if you have a gun, this would be a great place to cover from. Because I imagine these ships are going to be very hard to build in a game that's not a sandbox mode, so people will probably want to capture your ship rather than obliterating it. So this would probably be the point of entry for most people that want to capture the ship, and they'd have to go through here, they'd get through the doors, and then there's these hallways that your engineers can hide through and engage them in combat. Also, if you guys still are in the upstairs, you'll have this little mezzanine area you guys can shoot down and the invaders from. And then you have to go through more doorways. And I also added a second floor to this, and there's a mezzanine right there where people can shoot down on invading people. And here the engineering section remains the same. However, now there's a second level which you can access via this ladder. And you can also access this ladder. And there's a second way to get upstairs now, because I've decided that it was a problem that this was the only way to get up, and if you had anything that was damaged back here, it was impossible to get up to the top floor. So now we have an interior stairway. I'm sorry, this is the interior stairway. And this will bring us to the newly revised command and control section piloting area. And here we go. Here is our main piloting chair that overlooks the entire ship, and you'll be able to have a good view of all of the firing stations and whatnot. This will be like the medium tier version of this ship. We have the light tier version that I made and blew up over there, and then this one's going to be the medium tier, and eventually I'm going to make a heavy version of this ship that hopefully I'll do that after they revise the explosions from the missiles, so I know what to gear the armor towards. And yes, we have our ever important backup systems are still going on in here, and this room is pretty much unchanged. So that is the newly revised frigate that I made, and we'll just run out of here. Alright, so that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Any comments, suggestions, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. Alright, that'll be it for this episode. We'll see you guys next time.